Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, we're going to go ahead and design an interior architectural space. Um, just a little recap from the last video. I think this is the space that I'm going to start with just in the demo. At least this part, probably not this doorway thing here. So I'm just going to jump into it. For this assignment, really, it's about the space. Not worried about texture, stretching, or anything like that. It's just about getting a really cool space. So the first thing I'm going to do with this is just drop down a cube. I'm going to throw a concrete material on it. This is a concrete material just from Megascans. And we've got this here. And I'm going to just scale this up. I'm just going to kind of figure out a base wall size. And I think that should work. And I'm just going to start blocking this out. So again, like I said, I don't care about texture stretching. This is just a basic map here, map template. It's a third person template. So I'm just just trying to get the wall size right first. So if I duplicate this, hit play, right. So I'm thinking for these big walls, this is probably good. So I'm just going to rotate this because I've got this kind of bottom part here. That one. I'm just going to work on one side for now. I'm going to start just working through this pretty quick. Again, this assignment isn't about any weird, fancy Unreal stuff. This is more about design and creating a space. Take this up a bit. Looks like there's some some straight up and down walls in here too. So I'm just going to kind of just matching, just looking at this reference right here. This is definitely something if you want to, you can kind of watch this at a fast speed if you want, or you can watch me go through it all. All right, so I think that's good for this. So I'm just going to duplicate, holding down Alt, holding down Alt. I'm not sure why this is doing that. It's interesting. Must be because I have more than just one. Yeah, it's just getting the pivot was just getting confused, which that's totally fine. We'll just do it this way. So we'll be able, yeah, now I can move these this way. I think that's about right. I'm definitely making this space bigger than what's in my reference. The reference is just to kind of inspire, go off of. This is feeling good. So I think these need to be angled just a bit more. Take those this way. Okay, and then I noticed that in this space that goes up here, then there's kind of a bridge that goes across. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Should maybe a little bit longer. And then I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to grab same one there. Then I'm going to grab these elements and then just going to duplicate them by holding down Alt and dragging. And then I'm going to go up to Actor, Transform, and Mirror on X. And that just mirrored everything over. Let's see what we got. We have a nice big space. Right, it's very cool. All right, so now I've kind of got the general idea from my reference. Now I want to start adding stuff in here. I do notice there's some light leaking in here, so I'm just going to cut that off. Side there. All right, so I want to set up some walls first, just to close the space in. So I'm just gonna literally go like this. Just create a big wall here, and I kind of want it to be about the size of a human, so say about there. Just drag this one back and then wall it off completely. There. So this gives me a space to go into. A little bit higher. Go. That's very cool. This is kind of brutalism at its best. It's like these big, strong angles. Just love it. All right, so that's good. Let's go ahead and add in a post-process volume, which you've seen me do before, just to get our exposure under control. So as before, just do an extents, do a exposure, green mode, and I'm just going to set this to 1 for each of these, which is totally fine. Maybe let's go 3. 10. Definitely way too dark. Okay, here comes the light. Good grief. Not sure what happened there. Let's try this again. Let's see what happens. It's not getting much bounce. So let's go ahead and go to our skylight here. Do a captured scene or a cube map, and then I'm just going to use a daylight cube. And I don't know what's going on with the post-process one. I don't know why this is so dark. Very strange. Standing out here. Getting white. Art shouldn't be difficult. I've done it a million times. And that's what I'm expecting. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to open this up a little bit. What's going on with this? This should not be acting like this. Okay. Just had to check some settings real quick. I think I'm just blocking too much light in here. It's just not getting enough bounce. So let's just open it up and see if that's the issue. I'm just going to delete these for now. Let's go into the exponential log here and look up volume. Just make this all volume. So, because I think the bounce light just isn't bouncing around. No, turn that up to like 30. Scattering 10. So I'm just messing with the skylight here just to get some better fill. This is kind of what I'm looking for is in here. Go back into the directional light. So again, this is just me tweaking. You're gonna have to do the same thing. Brighten that up and go ahead and soften these shadows up as well. I'm gonna go into the post process and look up globe illumination. We'll turn these on. Go ahead and jump in here. There we go. Still pretty dark in here, but this is definitely the look that I'm going for. I'm gonna open up this back door. That's working. Another thing we would do is we can actually just lower, we can make this a little bit later in the day so we're not just getting direct. That's matching. This is what I was looking for to match the concept art. All right, this is working again. All right, so let's save this. And I'm gonna try to add those bridges back in. See if I can get this to look right. Up here, I'm gonna also add a crossbar across here along the center just to make that make more sense. Go as far as this. It's kind of cool. Jump back down in here again. As you can see, a lot of this is just testing, experimenting, testing. All right, I think that works. Not sure what the heck just happened. Terrific. All right, that's why we save. What's that crossbar? Just for the sake of sanity, I'm going to leave it for now. All right. One of the other things I wanted to add into this is a water element, which is in one of my pieces of concept, and I'm going to run it just along this wall here. Thing you want to make sure you do is just have this make sense. You can see that I'm kind of trying to, you wouldn't want like something like this. It should make some type of physical sense or logic. Works, and then I'm going to go ahead and cap the ends off. It's almost like one of those old school mall water elements or something. So then I'm just going to throw a plane in here. It's going to represent my water. So next step, under content in our content drawer, over here in settings, make sure you click settings, and you want to make sure we have show engine content and show plugin content. Make sure those are both highlighted. And then I'm just going to go into search and just type pool. Content. Try it in here. There we go. So under engine, we have these two pool materials, pool O1 and pool O2. I'm just going to use O2, drag it onto my plane, give it a second, and now we've got a water element. So I could take this, I think I'm going to take this and put it on the other side too. So just grab all these pieces. Just here. And I think the last piece of the puzzle, I'm going to drag in a cylinder and make a couple, or just one emissive light here. So I want to put some light under the water. To do emissive, just going on to content, I'm going to go back up to my master content folder here, right click, material, we'll just call this emissive, double click, and I'm going to just take 3 value here, 3 vector, and then plug this into emissive, and then hit M, add a multiply, so we'll go here, plug that back into emissive, with the 1 key held down, left click, and that'll give us a constant value. We'll just set that up to 2 for now. We're just going to multiply the emissive and make sure it's nice and bright, and then add a color. And I'm just going to go with something like a light blue. And under here, I'm just going to make this like 30, make it super bright. Hit apply, close. And then there's my emissive material. Click and drag it onto my cylinder here. So now I have an object that is basically acting like a light. Go in here, drag this out, and then we're going to put it under the water. Just to give the water kind of a cool look. Do the same thing over here. All right, now if I want to close that back wall off, we should get plenty of light in here. There we go. There we go. That would be my first kind of space and room. You guys should definitely get creative. Um, this really wasn't much work as far as like modeling goes, but it took a lot of time to tweak things, get the light to actually look right. And now this actually looks pretty good. So, I mean, one last thing that I would probably do with this, whoops, is wall this entrance off so it's not just open. Because I do want everybody to be able to play these levels too. So we kind of want to block the level off so somebody couldn't kind of sneak around the back here. play. Oh, it's gonna stick me outside. Put the camera in here and hit play. There we go. So now we're in the space. I got this little cube over here, which I'm going to talk about later. But you could, this is a little physics object. So now if I hit play, you can see I can push this around and watch what happens when it gets into the light. It's going to start kind of affecting the light. And I can just kick it off the side. That's a little bit of an extra we'll talk about later on. But you can see took about a half hour or so to build this space out. Definitely want you guys to spend more time, but I wanted to show you how quickly this could be done to make something that's actually really nice. And that's it. Thanks, everyone.